I have two grandchildren who are respectively 7 and 6 years old, and when I am in town, I drop them to the school. In the car, the elder one is always glued to the mobile watching football game, or if when I talk to him about his role models like Messi or Roanaldo, only when he will answer me in monosyllables, while the younger one is a chatterbox, observing every passerby and commenting on them. And if somebody happens to carry the pet, she will be glued on to the pet and nudging me to get a pet for her. It's fascinating to observe the body language of many kids entering the school gate. Some are excited and start running towards the gate. Few are very anxious and upset that their parents cajole them to enter the gate. One student I knew who would be perfectly all right throughout the day, but as soon as the time to get ready for school, he would start vomiting and complain of stomachache and headache. Some students are seen bullying the younger kids. Why are these differences? The answer may lie in the early childhood development of their non-cognitive faculties. And in this presentation, let me talk about the critical role that the non-cognitive faculties play in the development of the child. It is becoming increasingly clear that the non-cognitive psychological processes are important for students' school achievement, even to the point where their influence may be stronger than that exerted by the parents, teachers, or the school atmosphere itself. Non-cognitive skills refer to a broad category of personal characteristics such as efficiency, trustworthiness, dependability, perseverance, self-esteem, and optimism, and so on. Until recently, research on human capital failed to take the formative role of non-cognitive skills into consideration or give its due importance. However, new research on child development has observed a strong correlation between the cultivation of children's non-cognitive skills and their future employability and growth and levels of higher education and their feelings of self-efficacy and self-image over a period of time. Focusing on students' self-beliefs, the education system may be in a position to improve cognitive performance. Since individual students' self-belief may be more malleable than the cognitive processes involved in acquiring academic knowledge, focusing on these non-cognitive psychological processes is also likely to be more effective in improving performance than system-wide interventions involving changes in policy for both state and non-state educators. A trend in literature on child development and the predictive indicators of future life success involves study of non-cognitive skills. As I mentioned earlier, multiple traits compose a broad definition of what it means to be an educated person. Indisputably, being an educated person is associated with having a certain command of language, a felicity with the language, command of curriculum, and knowledge of theories and facts from various disciplines. But the term educated also suggests a more far-reaching concept associated with individuals' full development. Such development implies, for example, that individuals are equipped with traits and skills such as analytical thinking, critical thinking, problem solving, social skills, persistence, innovation, self-control, delay in gratification as opposed to impulsiveness or impatience, that allow them to contribute meaningfully to society and to succeed in their public lives, workplaces, homes, and other societal contexts. These traits are often called as non-cognitive skills. Despite non-cognitive skills' central pivotal role in our education, and more broadly, if I use the word, in our lives, so to say, education analysts and policy framers have, I'm sorry to say, have tended to overlook their importance. Thus, there are currently few strategies to nurture them within the school context or through education policies. However, after a relatively prolonged lack of consideration, non-cognitive skills are again beginning to be acknowledged in discussions about education, psychological growth of the child, leading to the need for thoughtful and concerted attention from policymakers and practitioners. Which non-cognitive skills the schools must promote? According to me, these should be critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, emotional health, social skills, work ethic, the community responsibility. Also important are the factors affecting interpersonal relationships between students and teachers. I call them as affection, closeness, open communication, ability to express your feelings and thoughts clearly, self-regulation, persistence, academic confidence, integrity, teamwork, organizational skills, communication skills, and so on. Non-cognitive skills matter for their own sake. They also matter indirectly, that is, they correlate with the other individual and societal outcomes. Non-cognitive skills support cognitive development. In fact, non-cognitive skills are like the platform over which the development of the cognitive elements take place. Non-cognitive and cognitive skills are interdependent and cannot be isolated from one another. Additionally, if we go to the employment scenario, the employers look for an employee who has strong work ethic, who believes in interdependence, and who is a team player, as opposed to somebody who acts in a solo manner or is overtly aggressive. Evidence also suggests that non-cognitive skills are associated with higher productivity and earnings. Non-cognitive skills are developed before and throughout children's school years, the formative years. The development of these skills is dependent on the family and societal characteristics and on school and teacher factors affecting personal relationship between students and teachers. The development of these skills, therefore, acquires critical significance. Multiple studies identifying the interdependence between cognitive and non-cognitive skills indicate that we may fail to boost cognitive skills unless we pay closer attention to non-cognitive skills. In other words, focusing on non-cognitive skills may further improve reading, writing, and mathematical performance as well. Since non-cognitive skills matter greatly and can be nurtured and honed in schools, developing them should be an explicit goal of education policymakers. This objective contrasts with the current overemphasis on cognitive aspects, which has not only displaced school support of non-cognitive development, but is also counterproductive in helping them improve cognitive skills. Most critically, it stands in the way of schools' nurturing of children's holistic development. And therefore, what could be the policy recommendations that I would recommend based on these insights. Firstly, the accountability practices and policies must be broadened in a way that incentivizes schools and teachers' contribution to the development of non-cognitive skills. Whilst teachers are rated on the basis of the results obtained by the students, it is equally important how far they were responsible for developing the non-cognitive faculties of the children. Making the development of the whole child central to the mission of education policy would help improve accountability through these changes to curriculum, teacher preparation, and other aspects of school functioning, and overall evaluation system of the schools as a whole. Secondly, incentives promoted by such enhanced accountability system should be aligned with widening the curriculum, cultivating the proper climate with the school, including promoting teachers' investment in relationships with students, and ensuring teachers have enough time to employ strategies which are conducive to the development of non-cognitive as well as cognitive skills. Finally and thirdly, disciplinary measures need to be refocused, revisited away from prescriptive sanctioning wrongdoing and towards supporting, nurturing, and promoting better non-cognitive behavior and towards preventing misbehavior. These policies could include practices such as peer mediation, group responsibility, counseling, among others. A final word about neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is often cited as a saving grace for children facing adversity, such as indifferent or very strict disciplining or extreme poverty. Neuroplasticity is the forming and reforming of neural pathways and is most constant and rapid during the formative first 4 to 5 years of life. Because of this, young children can quickly unlearn negative habits and routines and replace them with more positive ones. However, without interventions to correct unhealthy thought patterns and behaviors, there can be permanent damage to the brain as harmful, undesirable pathways are etched deep into the brain. It is in this context that the role of early influencers on the children's personality in stimulating their non-cognitive faculties acquires critical significance. Thank you very much.